Shabbat Shalom. We're all waiting for the snowpocalypse to come, so let's go ahead and just spend some time with Yah and just read the Torah portion this week as we're waiting for all the snow to come in. This week's portion is Bo, means come, and it's going to be found in Exodus, starting in chapter 10, verse 1, going through chapter 13, verse 16, Jeremiah 46, verses 13 to 28, and Matthew 26, verse 17 to 29. Now, the Exodus chapter is going to start on page 66. Oh, also, this is January 24th of 2026, or the 6th of Shavat. And let's just go ahead and get started, because with all this weather coming in, I want to make sure that I'm able to get it uploaded before too much hits, just in case the power goes out. And we're going to start with Exodus 10, verse 1 on page 66. And Yahweh said to Moshe, "Go into Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart and the hearts of his servants, so that I show these signs of mine before him, and that you relate in the hearing of your son and your son's son what I have done in Mitzrayim, and my signs which I have done among them, and you shall know that I am Yahweh." And Moshe and Aharon came in to Pharaoh and said to him, "Thus said Yahweh, Elohim of the Hebrews, till when shall you refuse to humble yourselves before me? Let my people go so they may serve me. Or else, if you refuse to let my people go, see, tomorrow I am bringing locusts within your borders, and they shall cover the surface of the land, so that no one is able to see the land. And they shall eat the rest of what has escaped, which remains to you from the hail, and they shall eat every tree which grows up for you out of the field. And they shall fill your houses, and the houses of all your servants, and the houses of all the Mitzrites, which neither your fathers nor your fathers' fathers have seen, since the day that they were on the earth to this day." Then he turned and went out from Pharaoh. And Pharaoh's servants said to him, "Till when would this one be a snare to us? Let the men go so that they serve Yahweh their Elohim. Do you not yet know that Mitzrayim is destroyed?" And Moshe and Aharon were brought back to Pharaoh, and he said to them, "Go, serve Yahweh your Elohim. Who are the ones that are going?" And Moshe said, "We are going with our young and with our old, with our sons and our daughters, with our flocks and with our herds. We are going, for we have a festival to Yahweh." And he said to them, "Yet let Yahweh be with you, and I let you and your little ones go. Watch, for evil is before your face." "Not so. You men go now and serve Yahweh, for that is what you desired." And they were driven out from his presence of Pharaoh. And Yahweh said to Moshe, "Stretch out your hand over the land of Mitzrayim, for the locusts to come upon the land of Mitzrayim and eat every plant of the land, all that the hail has left." And Moshe stretched out his rod over the land of Mitzrayim, and Yahweh brought an east wind on the land all the day and all that night. Morning came, and the east wind brought the locusts. And the locusts went up over all the land of Mitzrayim and settled within all the borders of Mitzrayim, very grievous. There had never been locusts like them before, nor would there again be like them. And they covered the surface of all the land, so that the land was darkened. And they ate every plant of the land and all the fruit of the trees which the hail had left. And no greenness was left on the trees nor on the plants of the field in all the land of Mitzrayim. Pharaoh then called for Moshe and Aharon in haste and said, I have sinned against Yahweh your Elohim and against you. And now please forgive my sin only this once, and pray to Yahweh your Elohim that he would only turn away this death from us. And he went out from Pharaoh and prayed to Yahweh. And Yahweh turned a very strong west wind, which took the locust away and blew them into the Sea of Reeds. Not one locust was left within all the borders of Mitzrayim. However, Yahweh strengthened the heart of Pharaoh and did not let the children of Israel go. And Yahweh said to Moshe, stretch out your hand toward the heavens, and let there be darkness over the land of Mitzrayim, even a darkness which is felt. And Moshe stretched out his hand toward the heavens, and there was thick darkness in all the land of Mitzrayim for 3 days. They did not see one another, nor did anyone rise from his place for 3 days, while all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. And Pharaoh called to Moshe and said, go, serve Yahweh, only leave your flocks and your herds behind. Let your little ones go with you too. But Moshe said, you yourself are to provide us with slaughterings and ascending offerings to prepare for Yahweh, our Elohim. And our livestock are to go with us too. Not a hoof is to be left behind, for we have to take some of them to share or to serve Yahweh, our Elohim. And we ourselves do not know with what we are to serve Yahweh until we come there. However, Yahweh strengthened the heart of Pharaoh, and he would not let them go. And Pharaoh said to him, get away from me. Watch yourself and see my face no more, for in the day that you see my face, you die. And Moshe said, you have spoken rightly. Never again do I see your face. And Yahweh said to Moshe, I am bringing yet one more plague on Pharaoh and on Mitzrayim. After that, he is going to let you go from here. When he lets you go, he shall drive you out from here altogether. Speak now in the hearing of the people, and let every man ask from his neighbor, and every woman from her neighbor, objects of silver and objects of gold. And Yahweh gave the people favor in the eyes of the Mitzrayim. And the man Moshe was very great in the land of Mitzrayim, in the eyes of Pharaoh's servants and in the eyes of the people. And Moshe said, thus said Yahweh, about midnight I am going out into the midst of Mitzrayim, and all the firstborn of the land of Mitzrayim shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh who sits on the throne, even to the firstborn of the female servant who is behind the handmill, and all the firstborn of the cattle. And there will be great cry throughout all the land of Mitzrayim, such as has never been or ever shall be again. But against any of the children of Israel, no dog shall move its tongue against man or against beast, so that you know that Yahweh makes distinction between Mitzrayim and Israel. And all these servants of yours shall come down to me and bow down to me, saying, Get out, you and all the people at your feet. And after that, I shall go out. And he went out from Pharaoh in great displeasure. But Yahweh said to Moshe, Pharaoh is not going to listen to you in order to multiply my wonders in the land of Mitzrayim. And Moshe and Aharon did all these wonders before Pharaoh. However, Yahweh strengthened the heart of Pharaoh, and he did not let the children of Israel go out of his land. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe and said to Aharon in the land of Mitzrayim, saying, This new moon is the beginning of new moons for you. It is the first new moon for the year for you. Speak to all the congregations of Israel, saying, On the 10th day of this new moon, each one of them is to take for himself a lamb, according to the house of his father, a lamb for a household. And if the household is too small for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next to his house take it according to the number of the beings. According to each man's need, you make your count for the lamb. Let the lamb be a perfect one, a year-old male. Take it from the sheep or from the goats, and you shall keep it until the 14th day of the same new moon. Then all the assembly of the congregation of Israel shall slay it between the evenings. And they shall take some of the blood and put it on the 2 doorposts and on the lintel of the house where they eat it. And they shall eat the flesh on that night, roasted in fire, with unleavened bread and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Do not eat it raw, nor boiled at all with water, but roasted in fire, its head with its legs and its inward parts. And do not leave of it until morning, and what remains of it until morning you are to burn with fire. And this is how you eat it: your loins girded, your sandals on your feet, and your staff in hand. And you shall eat it in haste. It is the Pesach of Yahweh. And I shall pass through the land of Mitzrayim on the night, and shall strike all the firstborn of the land of Mitzrayim, both men and beasts. And all the mighty ones of Mitzrayim I shall execute judgment. I am Yahweh. And the blood shall be a sign for you on the houses where you are. And when I see the blood, I shall pass over you, and let the plague not come upon you to destroy you when I strike the land of Mitzrayim. And this day shall become to you a remembrance, and you shall celebrate it as a festival to Yahweh throughout your generations. Celebrate it as a festival, an everlasting law. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread. Indeed, on the first day you cause leaven to cease from your houses. For whoever eats leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that being shall be cut off from Israel. And on the first day is a set-apart gathering, and on the 7th day you have a set-apart gathering. No work at all is done on them, only that which is eaten by every being. That alone is prepared for you. And you shall guard the festival of Matzot. For on this same day I brought your divisions out of the land of Mitzrayim. And you shall guard this day throughout your generations, an everlasting law. In the first month, on the 14th day of the new moon, in the evening, You shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the new moon in the evening. For 7 days no leaven is to be found in your houses. For if anyone eats what is leavened, that same being shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether sojourner or native of the land. Do not eat that which is leavened. In all your dwellings you are to eat unleavened bread. And Moshe called for all the elders of Israel and said to them, Go out and take lambs for yourselves according to your clans, and slay the Pesach. And you shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the 2 doorposts with the blood that is in the basin. And you, none of you, shall go out of the door of his house until morning. And Yahweh shall pass on to smite the Mitzrite, and shall see the blood on the lintel and on the 2 doorposts. And Yahweh shall pass over the house, and not allow the destroyer to come into your houses to smite you. And you shall guard this word as a law for you and for your sons forever. And it shall be when you come to the land which Yahweh gives you, as he promised, that you shall guard this service. And it shall be when your children say to you, What does this service mean to you? Then you shall say, It is the Pesach, slaughterings of Yahweh, who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Mitzrayim when he smote the Mitzrites and delivered our households. And the people bowed their heads and did obeisance. And the children of Israel went away and did so, as Yahweh had commanded Moshe and Aharon, so they did. And it came to be at midnight that Yahweh struck all the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim, from the firstborn of Pharaoh, who sat on his throne, to the firstborn of the captive, who was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of livestock. And Pharaoh rose up in the night, he and all his servants and all the Mitzrites, and there was a great cry in Mitzrayim, for there was not a house where there was not a dead one. Then he called for Moshe and Aharon by night and said, Arise, go out from the midst of my people, both you and the children of Israel, and go, serve Yahweh as you have said. Take both your flocks and your herds, as you have said, and go. Then you shall bless me too. And the Mitzrites were strong on the people to hasten to send them away out of the land, for they said, We are all dying. And the people took their dough before it was leavened, having their kneading bowls bound up in their garments on their shoulders. And the children of Israel had done according to the word of Moshe, and they had asked from the Mitzrites objects of silver and gold and garments. And Yahweh gave the people favor in the eyes of the Mitzrites, so that they gave them what they asked, and they plundered the Mitzrites. And the children of Israel set out from Ramesses to Sukkot, about 600,000 men on foot, besides the little ones. And a mixed multitude went up with them too, also flocks and herds, very much livestock. And they baked unleavened cakes of the dough which had been brought out of Mitzrayim, for it was not leavened, since they were driven out of Mitzrayim and had not been able to delay, nor had they prepared food for themselves. And the sojourn of the children of Israel who lived in Mitzrayim was 430 years. And it came to be at the end of the 430 years, on that same day, it came to be that all the divisions of Yahweh went out from the land of Mitzrayim. It is a night of watches unto Yahweh, for bringing them out of the land of Mitzrayim. This is that night of watches unto Yahweh. For all the children of Israel throughout their generations. And Yahweh said to Moshe and Aharon, this is the law of the Pesach. No son of a foreigner is to eat of it. But any servant a man has bought for silver, when you have circumcised him, then let them eat of it. A settler and a hired servant does not eat of it. It is eaten in one house. You are not to take any of the flesh outside the house, nor are you to break any bone of it. All the congregation of Israel are to perform it. And when a sojourner sojourns with you and shall perform the Pesach with Yahweh, let all his males be circumcised, and then let him come near and perform it. And he shall be as a native of the land, and let no uncircumcised eat of it. There is one Torah for the native born and for the sojourner who sojourns among you. Let all the children of Israel, and all the children of Israel did as Yahweh commanded Moshe and Aharon, as they did. And it came to be on the same day that Yahweh brought the children of Israel out of the land of Mitzrayim according to their divisions. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, set apart to me all the firstborn, the one opening the womb among the children of Israel, among men and among beasts, it is mine. And Yahweh said to the people, remember this day in which you went out of Mitzrayim, out of the house of slavery, by the strength of hand. Yahweh brought you out of this place. And whatever is leavened shall not be eaten. Today you are going out in a new moon, Abib. And it shall be when Yahweh brings you into the land of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, which he swore to your father to give you, a land flowing with milk and honey, that you shall keep this service in this new moon. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread, and on the 7th day is a festival to Yahweh. Unleavened bread is to be eaten the 7 days, and whatever is leavened is not to be eaten with you, and leaven is not to be seen with you within the borders, within all your borders. And you shall inform your son in that day, saying, it is because of what Yahweh did for me when I came up from Mitzrayim. And it shall be as a sign to you on your hand, and as a reminder between your eyes, that the Torah of Yahweh is to be in your mouth. For with a strong hand Yahweh has brought you out of Mitzrayim. And you shall guard this law at its appointed time from year to year. And it shall be when Yahweh brings you into the land of the Canaanites, as he swore to your fathers, and gives it to you, that you shall give over to Yahweh every one opening the womb, and every firstborn that comes from your livestock, the male belonging to Yahweh. But every firstborn of the donkey you shall ransom with a lamb. And if you do not ransom it, then you shall break its neck. And every firstborn male among your sons you are to ransom. And it shall be when your sons ask you in time to come, saying, what is this? Then you shall say to him, by strength of hand, Yahweh brought us out of Mitzrayim, out of the house of bondage. And it came to be, when Pharaoh was too hardened to let us go, that Yahweh killed every firstborn of the land of Mitzrayim, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of beast. Therefore, I am slaughtering to Yahweh every male that opens the womb. But every firstborn of my sons I ransom. And it shall be a sign on your hand and the frontlets between your eyes. For by strength of hand, Yahweh brought us out of Mitzrayim. We all have our Mitzrayim. And it is by the strength of his hand that he brings us through everything. He fights so hard for us, for our belief, for our faith in him. I am so thankful that he kept fighting for me, even when I didn't think I was worth fighting for. I'd been beat down so much by the world, by circumstances, by bad choices, by all the things. I never thought I was worthy. I didn't think I was worthy of love. I didn't think I was worthy of peace in my life. A lot of times I didn't think I was worthy of life. And I just wanted to end it. And every time Yahweh brought me out of it. I didn't realize it was him at the time. I didn't know he was walking me through all of the ugly. But he did. He brought me to a place of abundance, a place of love, a place of family, a place of healing. Yeah, he has so much for us, and we never even realize it until we just submit everything to him and just let him have our lives. Because once we turn it over to him, it's wonderful. We still have all the stress, all the strife, all the pain. It still comes and goes, and it's life. I mean, life happens. The difference is that he's walking it with you. And it just gives you an extra strength that you never knew was possible before. But we are going to turn now to Jeremiah chapter 46, verses 13 through 28. And that is going to be on page 517 in the scriptures. The word which Yahweh spoke to Jeremiah the prophet about the coming of Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, to strike the land of Mitzrayim. Declare in Mitzrayim, and let it be heard in Migdal, and let it be heard in Noph, and in Tahpanhes. Say, stand fast and be prepared, for a sword shall devour all around you. Why were your strong ones swept away? Why did not stand? Oh, they did not stand, because Yahweh drove them away. He made many stumble indeed, They fell over each other and said, "Arise, let us go back to our own people and to the land of our birth, away from the oppressing sword." There they cried, "Pharaoh, sovereign of Mitzrayim, is but a noise. He has let the appointed time pass by. As I live, declares the sovereign, whose name is Yahweh of hosts, for as Tabor is among the mountains, and as Carmel by the sea, he shall come. O you daughter dwelling in Mitzrayim, prepare yourself to go into exile, for Noph shall become a waste and a ruin and be burned without inhabitant. Mitzrayim is like a very pretty heifer, but destruction comes. It comes from the north. Her hired ones too, in her midst, are like fattened calves, for they too shall turn. They shall flee away together. They shall not stand, for the day of their calamity is come upon them, the time of their punishment. Its sound moves along like a serpent, for they move on like an army and come against her with axes like woodcutters. They shall cut down her forest, declares Yahweh, for it is not searched, because they are more numerous than locusts and without number. The daughter of Mitzrayim shall be put to shame. She shall be given into the hand of the people of the north. Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, has said, "See, I am bringing punishment on Ammon of No, and on Pharaoh, and on Mitzrayim, and on their mighty ones, and on their sovereigns, and on Pharaoh, and on those trusting in him. And I shall give them into the hand of those who seek their lives, into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, and into the hand of his servants. And afterwards it shall be inhabited as in the days of old, declares Yahweh. But as for you, do not fear, O my servant Jacob, and do not be discouraged, O Israel, for look, I am saving you from afar, and your descendants from the lands of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and shall have rest and be at ease, with no one disturbing. Do not fear, O Jacob, my servant, declares Yahweh, for I am with you. Though I make a complete end of all the nations to which I have driven you, yet I do not make a complete end of you. But I shall reprove you in right ruling, and by no means leave you unpunished. We are going from there to Matthew chapter 26, verses 17 to 29. And that is on page 951 in the scripture. And on the first day of unleavened bread, the taught ones came to Yeshua, saying to him, "Where do you wish us to prepare for you to eat the Pesach?" And he said, "Go into the city to a certain man and say to him, 'The teacher says, my time is near. I am to perform the Pesach at your house with my taught ones.'" And the taught ones did as Yeshua had ordered them and prepared the Pesach. And when evening came, he sat down with the 12. And while they were eating, he said, "Truly I say to you, one of you shall deliver me up." And they were deeply grieved and began to say to him, each of them, "Master, is it I?" And he answering said, He who has dipped his hand with me in the dish, he shall deliver me up. Indeed, the Son of Adam goes as it has been written concerning him. But woe to that man by whom the Son of Adam is delivered up. It would have been good for that man if he had not been born. And Yehuda, who had delivered him up, answering, said, Rabbi, is it I? He said to him, You have said it. And as they were eating, Yeshua took bread, and having blessed, broke, and gave it to the taught ones, and said, Take, eat, this is my body. And taking the cup and giving thanks, he gave it to them, saying, Drink from it, all of you, for this is my blood, that of the renewed covenant, which is shed for many for the forgiveness of sins. But I say to you, I shall certainly not drink of this fruit of the vine from now on till that day when I drink it anew with you in the reign of my Father. I don't normally end in prayer, but I really feel like I'm supposed to this week. Yahweh, we just come to you. We're just thankful for every gift you've given us. The gift of salvation, the gift of healing, the gift of comfort, the gift of peace, the gift of guidance. As we go into the Shabbat, God, we just thank you. We thank you for all your blessings. Yeah, we just humbly lay our lives at your feet and just offer ourselves to you to use us as you see fit. Teach us, Yah, to walk in your path, to walk in your right rulings, to walk in your law. Following your law is not a burden. It has given me so much direction and so much peace in my life. Yeah, I just pray that peace for anyone and everyone that is listening today. Yeah, anyone that doesn't know you, yeah, I just pray that you touch their hearts. Just have them reach out. They can reach out here, have them reach out anywhere, just to someone that can just answer any questions, to lead them to you. Yeah, let them just reach out to you. Just that simple cry. You tell us that you stand at the door knocking, and we have to come answer. Yeah, if you're knocking on someone's heart, let them answer. Let them call out to you. Ask for your mercy. Ask for your grace. Ask for your salvation. Because if we ask, you are merciful and you do give. You provide what we ask for when it is in accordance to your word. And we thank you for that. We thank you for that peace, that comfort, and that knowing that you are with us always. In Yeshua's name, Amen. Have a wonderful Shabbat.